Good morning, students. Welcome to P.N.AMERSEY e-learning classes. Students, today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 8, Cell Structure and Functions, part 1. Students, before starting this chapter, I will give you a small introduction about it. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Some of the living organisms are dog, cat, man, cow, horse, camel, lion, elephant, mosquito, housefly, sparrow, fish, etc. and plants like rose, marigold, sunflower, cabbage, mushroom, mango tree, and etc. And some non-living things are like rocks, minerals, water, mountains, table, chair, etc. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. These basic functions are like growth, movement, reproduction, respiration, nutrition, and excretion, etc. Different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed as excretory organs like kidney and bladder perform waste elimination. Reproductive organs like uterus, ovaries, fallopian tubes perform reproduction. Nervous organs like brain, nerves, sensory organs perform coordination of all body system. Similarly, circulatory organs like heart, arteries, veins perform circulation of blood. Students, in this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, and which is cell. Cells may be compared to bricks. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make body of every organism. Now we will discuss about discovery of the cell. In 1665, an English scientist named Robert Hooke observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slices of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partitioned boxes or compartments in the cork slice. Robert Hooke thought of these compartments as small rooms and called them cells. From this observation, Robert Hooke concluded that the cork is made up of tiny cells. The dead plant cell of cork observed by Robert Hooke were found to be empty. These boxes appeared like a honeycomb. Honeycomb means comb of bees. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Hooke coined them term cell for each box. What Hooke observed as boxes or cell in the cork were actually dead cells. It means that cells were dead, not living cells. Cells of living organism could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscopes. Very little was known about the cell for the next 150 years after Robert Hooke's observations. Students, today we can know a lot about cell structure and its functions because of improved microscopes having high magnification. The egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eyes. Now, the cell is about 1/1,000,000th of a meter. The high magnifying power microscope have helped the scientists to study the minute details of cell. Students, now we will study the cell in detail. Students, this is the picture of scientist Robert Hooke. and second picture is of cork cells, which was observed by Robert Hooke in a microscope. Now students, what is a cell? Cells are the basic units of life. All the living things means plants and animals, are made up of cells. Just as house is made up of bricks, in the same way a living organism is made up of cells. Thus we can say that cells are the building blocks of plants and animals. Both bricks in a building and cells in the living organism are the basic structural units. The buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shape and size. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organism are complex living structures, unlike non-living bricks. The biggest single-celled organism is the egg of an ostrich. A baby, a banyan tree, and a bacterium look very different from one another, but they are all made up of tiny cells. Our nose, skin, muscles, and bones are all made up of cells. The simplest organism, like amoeba, consists of only one cell, but a complex organism like man is made up of trillions and trillions of cells. So, we can say that cells are the basic unit of life. Students, the first picture is the wall of a house made up of brick, and the second picture is the leaf of onion peel. It is a plant cell made up of cells. Just as a house is made up of bricks, in the same way, living organisms, means plants and animals, are made up of cells. Bricks are non-living things, whereas cells are living structure. Now students, our next topic is organisms show variety in cell numbers, cell shape and cell size. How do scientists observe and study the living cell? They use microscope which magnify objects. Stains means dyes, are used to color part of the cell to study the detailed structure of the cell. There are millions of living organisms, all of which are made up of tiny cells. The various organisms, however, differ in the number of cells which make up their body. They differ in shape of cell in their body. They also differ in the size of cell in their body. I will explain you in detail. First one is the different organisms have different number of cells in their bodies. This is called the variety in the number of cells or the variety in cell number. Second one is the cell is multicellular organism, means multicellular plants and animals. They have different shapes. This is called variety in shape of cells or variety in cell shape. And third one is the cells in multicellular organism can have different size. This is called variety in size of cells or variety in cell size. We will now describe the variety in number of cells, shape of cells and size of cells in organism in detail. Before we do that, we should keep in mind that a million is a thousand, which is 10 and then 6 zeros in a million. A billion is 1,000 million and a trillion is 1,000 billion. Students, we will learn in detail about variety of number of cells, variety in shapes of cells, and variety in size of cells in detail in our next video. So, up till then, goodbye and thank you.